Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the ReelTok Podcast, episode 38. My name is George. I am sat alongside Tyler. I am sat alongside Cam. You will notice the absence of Seth. Seth is having a absolute blast at London Comic-Con. I believe you guys call it MCM, whatever. But Seth is over there out and about with the UK film talkers, having a grand old time. We got a nice little episode for you today. I know we say this pretty often, but I actually don't think this is going to be a very long episode. If you have not seen already, we have dropped our merch. And we cannot, thank you guys enough for the support that you have given us. We did not expect as many orders as we've gotten within the first week. You'll see Cam with his lovely crew neck. But yeah, we are absolutely floored by the support you guys are giving us. It's unbelievable. Tyler, I'll kick it over to you. I know you have a few things to say about the Patreon before we get on with the episode.
Yes, I do. So last week, obviously the merch drop was huge success there. I haven't done the official tally. I haven't updated the tally on like the countries and states we checked off, but check my Twitter and I'll be sure to post an updated one. Because I think at this point we've added a couple more countries. At this point we're at like 9 or 10. And I definitely know we added more states. So we're at least at like 27 states maybe. But I'll go through the official list and see if we can check off some more. But Patreon, we have some big updates this week. So last week, the boys met in a little business meeting to talk about how we can add more value to our patrons. And we updated some Patreon tiers. So officially, if you go into Patreon right now, it's not updated right now as I'm recording this, but by the time this is uploaded, it'll be updated. Patreon tiers have been updated. $5 tier is the exact same, so you're going to get invited to our Discord, sneak peek at episodes, you get to ask us Q&A questions. $10 Discord, that's where you're going to be able to get video messages each and every month from one of us. We're going to be sending you a thank you message or answering a question of your choice, topic of your choice, film recommendations, whatever you want. $25 Discord, we're going to have a movie watch-along each and every month. We had one last month, what was the name of that movie again? From Dusk Till Dawn?
Dust Till Dawn,
right?
Yeah.
From Dust Till Dawn, and that was actually like a lot of fun. That was like a perfect like watch along movie to watch with a bunch of people and just have a good time. So that's gonna be at one of the tiers, and then going up, we're gonna have like hangouts with all the patrons at the $50 tier to hang out each and every month. So that's gonna be fun. So there's all these new perks. So basically, the Patreon is exactly what it used to be, but we're adding pretty much more stuff to every single tier, most of the tiers. So go check it out. There's new stuff. Go check our Patreon, links in the description. New stuff at each and every tier. Should be a lot more value to you all. We're trying to figure out ways each and every week to make our podcast the greatest it can be and make the experience for you guys the greatest it can be because you guys are such great supporters. So go check out the Patreon. Links down below. Thank you, George, for my little aside. Kicking it back to you.
Of course. And then to all the existing patrons and to everyone, once again, who's supporting us with the merch, it's been unreal. And I don't think the four of us can thank you guys enough. We got a pretty packed episode today. That's kind of a lie. We don't. It's going to be a little shorter today. I'm going to give an extremely brief review of The Flash. Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything, and I want you guys to go in as blind as possible. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to watching the new Little Mermaid movie, but Tyler and Cam did, so they will give you a little review. And then Tyler did one of his weekly triple features, so he'll go through there. We got a bunch of trailers that dropped this week. We got a little bit of news, very little nerd news, and then we will end off with our draft of the day, which is going to be Disney movies, live action or animated, excluding Star Wars and superhero films. Gentlemen, let's just get right into this episode. Cam, how are you doing? How is your week?
Doing wonderful. Week is good. Work's good. Got not a crazy week, obviously, for all the UK people, not as much, but we have a 3-day weekend. Shout out all the veterans. So happy Memorial Day to those in the US. So that's nice. Trying to think like what's going on with me. Really nothing at all. I just kind of like hang out and watch my kid. But my kid, Bailey, he started not walking, but he started like pulling himself up on things. That's a big moment. But now he's just uber mobile because he crawls everywhere and pulls himself up. So this is kind of like, I think, where people start freaking out. They have to like baby proof the house, because he's basically hitting his head once an hour. And so It's harder now that we can't just set him somewhere, leave, and come back 30 minutes later, and he maybe like rolled once. But it's okay. It's a good time to be a parent right now. Not a whole lot going on. We're about to enter. If I miss an episode in the upcoming like month, just don't be alarmed. I'm about to go to 3. I have 3 weddings that are all out of town in the next 3 weekends. So I'm trying to like plan out my movie watches. I already got Spider-Verse tickets. Don't know when I'm going to go see The Flash because I'll be in Florida for that entire week. So it'll be interesting like this upcoming month. But yeah, not a whole lot going on this week.
Any plans for tomorrow, Memorial Day?
Oh, no, I'm going to go golfing in the morning. I think I told you both that.
Yeah, you told us that.
Yeah, and then I will probably hang out with my parents afterwards because they're watching Bailey while we golf. So probably hang out with them for a couple hours, maybe have like hot dogs, grill out burgers, stuff like that. Memorial Day festivity.
Yeah.
Also,
nice.
I do live in Indy, and the big like Memorial Day weekend thing, I don't know if it's very popular outside of Indy, but like Indy 500 is a fairly big racing event. So that's kind of fun. I never go because it's just hot as fuck, and like you're basically beating down in the sun because you're standing right in front of asphalt all day. So I've gone like a couple times, but I never go anymore. I'm sure there are people that do go, but that's today. So that's kind of fun. I'll watch that probably.
Very nice. Tyler, How was your week that capped off with a nice triple feature?
Yeah, it's been solid. I was thinking about the long weekend this weekend. I feel like it's the first holiday weekend we've had in like a hot minute, and I was thinking like extroverts. I feel like super extroverts prefer like a Friday off because you can go out Thursday night and like stay out late and not have to worry about it. But for me, like who's not like a big partier, I don't go out at all. Like I think Mondays off are like so underrated because Sundays, like today right now, I'm so used to like, I'm gonna grind on ReelTok all day and then like work tomorrow. But no, it's just like a bonus Sunday tomorrow, and then going off the long weekend, you go right into a short work week. So just kind of like, I feel like Mondays off are underrated. I'm excited for it. Just like
I feel like they both have their benefits because like
Right.
if you have Friday off from work, then it's like Thursday's kind of like a relaxed day. Maybe people aren't in the office, and maybe you have like Thursday starts to feel like a Friday. But yeah, Monday off is awesome because then you go to sleep on Sunday and you're like, I don't have to wake up tomorrow.
For sure. But yeah, it's been solid. So this week at work's my last week at this like current job, and then I switched to a new one, which will be full-time remote. So I'm like very excited for that. Got a promotion at work this week, and that's not to flex. That's just to tell everyone listening that I do have a real job and I do work it, and I do good enough to get it promoted. So I do actually go to work, and I don't just go watch movies all day. So yeah, so other than that, been a pretty solid week. I'm ready for June to start because there's so many new movies coming out in June that are gonna be so electric, whereas May has just been so ass.
It's been a tough month of movies. But yeah, I've been good too. Just another week of work. Pretty busy this week. We're kind of like ramping up in this new role that I'm in, so it just every week just gets busier and busier. Was able to see The Flash. I had Alex in New York City to come with me to watch The Flash. So that was a really good time. I'll talk about that a little later in the episode, or actually right after this segment. Yesterday, got out on a boat a little bit, which is nice. It was really nice out. It was very toasty. Sucks because like the water is still freezing cold at this time of year. Like the water doesn't get like genuinely like hot and like nice enough to go in until like end of July. Obviously I'll go in before that, but it gets still very cold. But yeah, other than that, good weekend. No plans for Memorial Day. I'll probably head back to the city early Monday, tomorrow morning, just because I have to log on to work a little bit. And then we're obviously filming a couple of smaller episodes tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, let's just get right into the episode. Like I said, we have a few movie reviews. So let me.
I'm calling timeout. I had to get something for Emma, and then she like put on the headphones and just listened to you guys for a second. All she told me was Tyler got a promotion. So congrats to Tyler. Thank you. Good work. Good work. Good work. Proud of you.
He texted us that this week.
I forgot about it until now.
I'm glad to hear Emma's like your like almost like your recording booth like partner.
The
Like it's
extension.
like Emma.
Yeah.
Emma, I gotta go real quick. Make sure I don't miss anything important. Give me the lowdown.
I needed to get her a Phillips head screwdriver, and she asked for the one that looks like a plus. So
She could have popped in and said hi to the podcast.
that's fair. She could have.
All right, I'm gonna really quickly just run through the Flash. It's gonna be literally 5 minutes because I don't want to spoil a thing, and I want you guys to go in as blind as possible. I had a blast with this movie. I really did. I know I keep reiterating that I'm not freaking out over this movie, and I'm not. I also said I did not watch the finished version of this movie, so I'm gonna save like my official thoughts. I'm seeing it again June 12th, so I will most likely, unless if my thoughts on the movie completely differ from my first watch, I will repost my review. If not, I'll just post like a small letterbox paragraph again. But no, this movie was an absolute blast. There were a lot of moments between, Keaton's Batman, Ezra's Flash, Supergirl. There was a lot of fun character moments, a lot of emotional character moments. This is very, and I don't know if this is going to disrespect one or another filmmaker, but it's very like James Gunny. Like this movie knew when to have heart. It knew when to throw jokes in. Like those two didn't overstep. Like there was no emotional moment that was ruined by a joke. There was no jokey moment that just randomly got dramatic. Like there was a very nice separation of like comedy and drama and emotion. And I think that's one thing this movie did very well. And I will say with the comedy, this is one of the funniest superhero movies I can think of in a very long time. It's right there with like Guardians Volume 3.
I was going to ask more.
Yeah, it's like, it's probably a little less than Guardians 3, but like for a DC movie, I did not expect to laugh as much as I did in this movie. There were a lot of funny moments, a lot of emotional moments. And that's where I'll wrap my review. I really don't want to like spoil anything or just give away anything. I want you guys to go in as fresh as possible, but I really did have an absolute blast with this movie. It does really feel, and I don't even think this is a spoiler, I think this is just the expectation. It does feel like a reboot of the DCU, which I think is what everyone's kind of expecting going into it. And I think they did a really good job at that. I think they did a really good job at like moving the DCU into like the James Gunn era. But that also wasn't the movie's like sole purpose. Like this movie actually cared about what it wanted to show us in the Flashpoint paradox. So yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I gave it a 4 out of 5. That's a very high 4 out of 5. So maybe after second viewing, that'll go up to a 4.5 out of 5. We'll see. But I landed at a 4 out of 5. I had a really, really good time with this movie. Keaton is just incredible as Batman. It's like this man just didn't miss a beat. But I'll wrap the review right there. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Yeah, go.
Just couple questions. That June 12th showing, is that an AMC thing or like an IMAX thing you were invited to?
That's
I'll be here June 12th, so I'm trying to look for tickets.
No, that's an early Warner Brothers screening that I was invited to.
Damn you!
Yeah, sorry,
people.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I know like AMC does like Tuesday openings for like big movies like that, but I can't find one. Bummer, Bill.
I didn't know that, but yeah,
they do it. They do it for like. I think I went and saw I know the Batman opened one day early, but then there are others like they're big movies sometimes get like Tuesday screenings from AMC, and it's not like a hard thing to get. They just post tickets like it's any other showing, but it's only one and it's at 7 p.m. I'm pretty sure for most things.
There was that same like for the Batman, it was called the fan first screenings, and there's the same thing for the Flash, but I think they already went on tickets or on sale and they're already gone. But that's like a week early. So
I think I saw that, and I remember not seeing Indiana, which is whack. First off,
right? Yeah,
Indiana, huge market. Come on.
But yeah, that's another early screening. So, not to be a dick, but I'm going to see this movie twice before most people see it once.
You bitch.
But we'll move on. What's your question?
I can't remember now. It was.
Is it about the Flash?
Not a question, just a point. While I'm sure it feels gunny and maybe he had a hand in post-production, because apparently this thing is still in post-production. I don't know if you mentioned, George. Maybe I missed it, but you said this wasn't the finished product. Okay. Well, James Gunn, again, not a part of the DCU. Yeah. Just want to make sure our film fans are educated.
I've already seen so many tweets saying like James Gunn's like most like James Gunn's like two latest DC projects are a flop. Why do I think the Flash is going to be good? And I'm like, he had no part of Shazam or Black Adam.
Yeah, and also they're gonna get 2 more, and apparently Aquaman is like the worst superhero movie ever.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have seen those reviews.
I've seen
but
them.
That's like the last DC movie before James Gunn takes over. So like this is gonna get praise, and then we're gonna get to Aquaman, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, James Gunn sucks again," and yeah. So just take that with a grain of salt. I'm sure he may have been able to have a little hand in post-production, but not much.
I didn't say like this movie feels like a James Gunn movie, like implying that he had a say.
No, I get you.
It was more so like the tone of the movie reminded me of like a little bit of like James Gunn influence, especially after I just watched obviously the Suicide Squad again, and then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, both on the same day. So I don't know. I was just like, yeah, I could see it a little bit, little James Gunn here and there. But we'll move on from the Flash. You two saw the Little Mermaid this week, which is the Disney's latest live action remake. Seeing some great reviews, seeing some average reviews, seeing some bad reviews. So it's kind of been all over the place. You guys I'll just kick it over to you for your review, because unfortunately I did not get around to watching it. So maybe Tuesday night, if I'm not busy, I'll get around to it.
Cam, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I really enjoyed this. I'm a big Little Mermaid guy, just like from the original. Apparently that's a hot take from what I'm like. It's got a pretty high Letterboxd score. It's like a 3.7 out of 5, which is pretty good. But like every one of my friends, and I'm only friends with like 16 people on Letterboxd, they all have it at like a 3. I'm at like a 4.5. It's not, I don't think anyone thinks it's like a bad movie, but I'm a big regular Little Mermaid guy. So I expected to like this some, probably not as much as I did. I kind of expected it to be around a 3 out of 5 and gave it a high 3.5 out of 5. I think the moral of the story is I wasn't upset that I went and saw this, and I wasn't upset that they remade it, which, like Pinocchio and Lady and the Tramp and a lot of other live action remakes. I kind of am upset that when they remake them, because they're just really bad.
Is that where our standards are at?
Yeah, I mean, like I think so, but like I enjoyed my time with it. Like it was a fun movie in my opinion, and I know everyone hates like turn your brain off and have fun. This one, I don't think you need to turn your brain off. I just had fun with it. Halle Bailey, so goddamn good, can sing her heart out. She like truly sang like a goddess, was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed Daveed Diggs and Melissa McCarthy, and the rest of the cast was in the movie. They were in attendance and they showed up. Have other points, but we can kick it to Tyler. That's my general idea or thoughts on the movie, but 73 out of 100 right now, a high 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, so Riley and I went to see it last night. We both kind of the same takeaways. We both didn't love it. We both gave it 2.5 stars. I gave it a low 2.5 stars. I gave it a 4.7 out of 10. We were just really bored, man. Like, I just feel like rewatching the original one before this really is a disservice, because this is like the same story frame for frame, stretched out 45 minutes extra.
It is too long.
We were just super bored in the theater. Like, we were both checking our watch. We're like, man, we gotta get out of here. Like, Halle Bailey's voice, like Cam said, like her songs were incredible. We didn't like anything else. The Lin-Manuel Miranda is just so not good, because not only the scuttlebutt, but like Eric's song was so theater kid cringy. So much of the new songs in this were so awful. Lin-Manuel Miranda is such a disgrace this movie.
I think that's a bad take though, to say he's not good. Because
no, I'm not. I'm saying for this movie, I love Lin-Manuel.
Okay, no.
Are you saying Eric is not good? I don't think Eric was good.
No, I don't think Eric was very good. No,
okay.
I just mean
Lin-Manuel Miranda's great, but for this movie, his additions were not good. The worst cast member by far, Javier Bardem, was awful. Oh, yeah. So, okay, Cam, the scene at the end when he shows up behind the boat and they just have the camera sitting on him for 10 seconds.
I probably didn't take enough points.
Riley and I literally looked at each other. We're like, why are they just showing, like, why aren't they talking? Like, it was just 10 seconds of him just sitting there, like, not talking. And we're like, what is going on here? He was awful, Javier Bardem. I enjoyed Daveed Diggs, though. What's up?
Sorry, George, do you care if we spoiled?
No, not at all.
I mean, it's the same story, so anyone listening, it's the same.
Not at all.
I know.
Yeah, but Daveed Diggs I enjoyed, except that like Cam, what you said in your letterbox review, that scuttlebutt was just a disgrace against humanity. And Aquafina is just awful as always. And my favorite cast member though, by far, like by a huge margin, Jessica Alexander, who played Ursula when she becomes a real person. She had like 2 scenes, but she was like, I was like, okay, someone's bringing like acting chops. She was incredible. Halle Bailey, like I thought her voice and like her singing was incredible. Her acting was very good. I think some people are saying she's like the greatest actress ever. I thought she was very good. I wouldn't say she was great acting, but her singing was great.
I have a take on that.
Let's hear
I have
it.
a take. You want to hear my take?
Yes.
I haven't seen a lot of movies this year. I'll admit.
Yes.
This is my Oscar frontrunner for Best Actress. Like this is the best.
She's not that good of an actress, dude.
What other performance have we gotten this year from anyone?
Are you talking about Halle Bailey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my best actress. Maybe not front runner if you can name more, but like I'd say top 5. This year's kind of been shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, this year's been a bad
kind of
year.
been this year. But we'll get into it after the review. How about that? But we could just talk maybe some actresses because I don't know what other performances this year.
I'm looking at my ranking right now, and there's
not a lot of great actresses this year.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
Jennifer Lopez, Shotgun Wedding, my front runner.
Evil Dead Rise is like the only movie like a genuine female lead.
You're right. There's some Sundance stuff that'll be coming out later that I think could be. Yeah, that's not a bad take.
Probably.
But yeah, back to The Little Mermaid. I don't know, man. Like we were just super bored with this, and like I truly do think the visuals were not good. Like I know we were all talking about that before release, and then everyone when it came out were like, oh, it's not as bad as the previews would make you think, which I agree. Like I think the previews were worse than like what they were, but it's still not great. Like I think, well, Avatar obviously for sure would look better, but I think like Aquaman or like I think even like Black Panther Wakanda Forever, like the underwater scenes probably look better than this. Like I don't know. Like I think Under the Sea they did very well, but like they made some cool visuals and creatures under the water. But like the water itself was awful, and I know everyone's like, oh, it's a mermaid movie, you can't expect realism, but when like the bird came under the sea and like was just talking with them under there, that truly did take me out of it. And I know people are like, oh, it's a mermaid movie, you can't care if like a bird's underwater, and I'm like, I don't know. For me, I like genuinely, I was just like, this is dumb. Why is the bird under there talking for 3 minutes? Like there's just.
I don't like that take. I'm sorry.
Why?
I appreciate you sharing it. Well, my opinion on the bird talking is like. Exactly. I liked one of like Sophie's tweets or Sydney's tweets earlier this week is like, it's a bird that goes underwater, not necessarily talking underwater, but it's a fucking talking bird. And at that point, I'm kind of like, it can be underwater and talk because this bird in real life does go underwater for large amounts of time to pick up fish. Like I
think that's a dumb take too, though.
I don't know.
Because like, the thing is like, so. The reason they did it is because their visual effects aren't good enough to have her go above the water and talk and go back under in like a quick scene. Because they didn't have Flounder go out of the water. It's like, oh, he's a fish. Why can't he go out of the water and talk?
He went out of the water. He went out of the
for
water
like a second, not for 3.5 minutes.
I'm just saying. All right, so
it just added fire to the flames that like Awkwafina is like the worst actress working in Hollywood today.
I don't like that.
George, do you like Awkwafina?
I mean, I don't hate her at all. No, I think I really like her in The Farewell. I think she's a great voice actress.
Haven't seen that, but I did not like her in Crazy Rich Asians.
I loved her in Crazy Rich Asians, and I've thought about it. I don't think I'm as down on her as you all, but I really liked her in Shang-Chi, and I loved her in Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya and the Last Dragon, I really loved her. This, I think she stinks, but like, I also blame Lin-Manuel Miranda for that a little bit because the scuttlebutt
so bad.
It's a big reason I think.
But still, Javier Bardem's the worst in this movie.
That's fine. But I don't know. I kind of like. I didn't have a problem with her. I should say. Like I've definitely had the take where I think sometimes she's super annoying, but in this I didn't have a. So she's a gannet. The bird is a gannet, and that bird can go underwater, and that was what I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad of an issue, like big of an issue when she was underwater and talking for a 2-minute scene, in my opinion. It's a talking bird.
How old is Jonah Howard King? Because he looked like he'd either be 20 or 38.
He's one of the
27. Like, they looked creepy on screen together, man. He looked way older than her.
He did. But
Very
same with in the original Little Mermaid, because I rewatched it this week and I was like, this is this is kind of weird. She
Right,
looks
no,
like
because she's
12.
16 in the original. But like that's the whole point. They
is she?
changed all the
I didn't
lyrics
even
to
know.
make this remake more PC. So like, why wouldn't they change that if they're changing everything else?
What lyrics did they change? I don't even
Kiss the
remember.
girl. They changed it. Be like, you got to ask for her consent and kiss the girl. If you look at
Did they?
yeah, they changed the lyrics a lot for
Oh,
Kiss the Girl.
I did not notice that, but they do look very odd. Like the age gap is odd.
And he's just very
I-
much a theater kid. So I just really didn't. I don't know. It was just he just had a
I
very.
didn't think he
off-putting
was very
performance.
good. I didn't. think he was very
His solo song on the ship I thought was
Was bad.
awful.
good. Was bad.
Like the voice was good, like fine, but like
Mhm.
the performance, I was just like, oh.
Well, so I said in my review, this has a real issue with like lip sync syndrome, where they're just all
Mhm.
very clearly lip syncing. And then when like they go to the studio, they're like belting and they're like, singing, which is and it's also amplified and it sounds a lot louder than what their lips look like. And maybe I'm more down on this movie. I had a good time with it though. So
How has Hollywood like not figured that out though? Like I obviously like way harder than I'm sure any of us can give credit for, but like I feel like singing in movies has been a thing for like legitimately like 80 years, and I feel like lip singing still looks so weird in movies and like music
yeah, I don't know.
videos. I don't know how they just haven't figured that out by now. Maybe it's just all these. I mean, every cast member except like Javier Bardem in this movie, I guess, are pretty inexperienced actors, so maybe it's that. But because none of them have really been in much before this, right? Like I didn't recognize really.
Well,
anyone.
I mean, like
Melissa
I mean,
McCarthy's
like,
it.
Jacob Tremblay is in a lot of things, but he's still a kid.
Well, and you
Javier
don't see his
Bardem,
voice.
Yeah, you don't see him. Halle Bailey and Jonah Hauer King, obviously they're new. A lot of the others are voice acting. So like, all right, yeah, I guess you're right. They are inexperienced. You're right about that.
Yeah, and the only other like gripe I have is like all the like I really didn't like the end when all the mer people came up. It was just I thought that was a really cringy scene when they all came up.
So
Because they all looked
you
pretty
want-
weird to me.
they did.
Like I
and
feel
when
like
came
they
up-
the costume design for like the main focused people, they were like we're putting a lot of effort in. Then for that final scene, they're like quick, like throw them in like some costumes and make them go up.
But that first guy mermaid that popped up, that dude was good.
Ripped abs.
Right.
But he was also weird because I feel like he like looked like he was on that rock, just like flexing his mind
Just
out for that whole
flexing,
scene.
yes, but
Which to be fair,
good.
if I was him, that's what I'd do too. If they're like you're a background extra in the Little Mermaid and you're ripped, I'd just be sitting there. I'm like I don't give a fuck what I look like. I'm just gonna...
That's the kind of thing like in like a college football game, like AJ McCarron's girlfriend Tyler, like when they get on screen for 1 second and then they become really popular on Twitter or something. That was his moment. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this. Like,
He's like I want to be the thirst trap of all the
yes,
the girls watch
is
this
my
movie.
calling for the week. So yeah, he was good, ripped, that dude.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong. So it's like again, watching the original versus this, it looks that end scene was just drawn out so much more than the original. Like the original, they all pop up and like you get it, everyone's together, you get it. The mer people and the people are friends now. But in this, it's like, hey, the mer people and the people are friends, and we should explain that right now when you just don't need them. That ending I didn't love. I will mention, and I think you said it, like I think Under the Sea was done really well.
Yeah, they nailed it.
I'm a huge Under the Sea guy, as you all know from my favorite Disney songs. But I think that was like one of my biggest concerns, especially because like I'm a big I just can't wait to be king guy, and I've said it time and time again. In the Lion King remake, you can do it, but they don't do like elephants or giraffes climbing on top of elephants with Simba coming out at the top like it's a flower looking thing like they do in the animated movie. They try to make it a lot more realistic. In this one, they kind of just say it's still realism, and you can do a lot more bright colors underwater because like fish have different colors and stuff, but they really do nail Under the Sea, and I think that's a big reason I enjoyed this so much. And I think I still liked Kiss the Girl. I like a part of Your World. I like this more than the original. The music I still thought was good, and that's a big pull for me.
Yeah, I agree. The music was all good. Like, and obviously, we've mentioned like 10 times, Scuttlebutt needs to be eviscerated from this movie.
Yeah, my thoughts are like my thoughts were like, I think at this point you're either a fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda or you're not. So like I am a big fan of him. I love Moana. I love Encanto. I love obviously Hamilton and Tick Tick Boom. I think no matter what, if you're a fan of him or not, the Scuttlebutt sucks. And you're
okay. I was wondering where you're going with that because I'm a huge
like,
Lin-Manuel Miranda
no
guy. Like, I
matter
love
what,
Tick Tick Boom and stuff.
No matter what, this is where we're coming together and saying this shit sucks, man. Like it is so bad. And I didn't see it online. I don't know if you did, Tyler or George, but I was waiting for this moment because I heard about it and like heard that it was so poorly done. And it really was. And I don't think it adds anything to have like Aquafina seeing it when people already dislike her. I don't think she made it any worse, but it didn't help itself.
It more just made me upset for David Diggs because I genuinely loved his performance. I'm like, oh man, I have to tarnish it a bit.
Dude, this made me want to go home. I watched a little bit of Hamilton on Disney Plus last night. I'll probably finish it. I fucking love Hamilton, but this made me just want more David Diggs. And so I agree. I enjoyed him. Yeah, I couldn't take my notes. I should mention there was a guy and a girl sitting not right next to me. I got that seat gap. They were clearly in high school. They were making out for like 20 minutes during this movie, which like definitely it's a high school move. You know, you go to a movie, you get a little lights get low, you start kissing a little bit. Yeah, so that was kind of a unfortunate thing.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
Oh god.
This theater was packed, man. I think Tyler and I talked about it. Like the Little Mermaid was taking over this weekend, a 9:15 showing, and it was absolutely packed.
Dude, I can't wait to see the box office results this weekend. Because Riley and I went to dinner.
120.
Right, because like we went to dinner like Friday night, and we were like, oh, let's go to the Little Mermaid after, and it was like sold out showings the next one, and then like we looked at the next like 4 showings are all sold out. And we're like, shit, let's just go like tomorrow night. And we went to like a 9:15 showing also, and it wasn't like sold out, but it was like pretty packed. And I'm gonna give props to all the kids in my theater. They all were very well behaved. When I went to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, the kids were thumbs down and ruined some of the greatest moments. This movie, thumbs up. Kids all well behaved. They were locked in.
My theater cheered at the end. Did yours?
No,
like, there was a lot of kids.
No, my showing was like 25% full though, because I went like super late. So maybe if it was more packed, but no cheering in mine.
Mine cheered. They changed this is my favorite change that they made is that they don't make stupid Eric kill Ursula at the end. Sorry for spoilers. It's Little Mermaid. They have Halle Bailey's Ariel. She same way, but she kills Ursula. Good. Eric sucks, man. Fuck that guy. This dude sucks. He's not even that good looking. I'll say it. I think the dude with the abs at the end was better looking than Eric. Should have gone with him. That's true love. But I got nothing more.
I feel like I've been dogging on this movie a ton, so I'll say some positive things. Melissa McCarthy's Ursula. There's nothing nothing more I feel like she could have gave. I feel like she was incredible. I feel like not only her performance was great, I think all the scenes with Ursula, like they laid him out well, they sketched him out well, like all the designs, everything that happens, so cool.
Poor Unfortunate Souls was good also.
Poor Unfortunate Souls was, and that final scene when like Jessica Alexander turns into Melissa McCarthy, like so Vanessa turns into Ursula, that was just like super well done and super cool. So big thumbs up to that. Halle Bailey, like I said, like obviously all the music was incredible. Jacob Tremblay I thought was good as Flounder. I feel like he was pretty forgettable though. David Diggs, as I mentioned, awesome as Sebastian, and that's about it. Like I think I saw someone else say this before I got into the showing. Like someone like an early reaction was like, it takes like the first 20 minutes are like awful, and then you can kind of get into it and it's pretty good. And I agree, the beginning was rough because the whole Under the Sea with not the song, but like when they were under the sea with like all her sisters and stuff, like they all just showed up to set one day. I feel like all the other mer people I thought were just so just off-puttingly like just like mid that I was just like, this is just really forced and weird.
I think this attributes to the just capturing the magic of the original, but I liked like King Triton's entrance where it's just like a whirlwind of fish and then he like appears kind of thing. And again, that just kind of makes me feel like they've obviously they went the realistic route, making Flounder an actual flounder, and looking like a weird fish, which I wasn't a fan of at the start. Same with Daveed Diggs' Sebastian. I wasn't a huge fan of making him look so realistic, but I think it worked for the movie, and it completely makes sense. But I do like that they also tried to. I think whether it executes well or not, I think this movie tried the most to capture that magic of the original, of all of these live action, other than maybe like the Jungle Book. Even that is kind of dreary looking, even though it's a really good movie.
I love that
it's kind of dreary looking, though, don't you
fair.
agree?
Yeah, that's fair.
I do love it. It's my favorite live action.
Okay. No, I reacted before you said looking. I thought you were just saying the movie is dreary. I'm like,
no, I like it a lot. I'm just saying, like, I do think they kind of lose. I keep coming back to the word, the magic, but I don't know. I think we all knew I'd be much higher on this, just considering I'm the only one that likes the original Little Mermaid.
Right. So I think like at the end of the day, our reviews are pretty similar in terms of like, because I was a 3-star for the original, 2.5 for the remake. You're a 4.5 star for the original, 3.5 star for the remake. So like we're both kind of in agreements. It's like whatever you kind of rate the original at, it's probably just gonna be it's definitely gonna be a tier below. I'd find it hard to believe anyone who like loves the original would like this even more. But it's not like it's not like a outrageous decline by any situation. But one thing I did mention earlier that I just want to clarify, so for people listening, the changes to Kiss the Girl. So the original was possible she wants you to, it don't take a word, not a single word, go on and kiss the girl. So that's the original. This one is possible she wants you to, use your words, boy, and ask her if the time is right and the time is tonight, go on and kiss the girl. So it adds a little consent, which is why I think it's weird.
Which is good.
No, it's good, but then like
change. You're right.
No, I don't even think it's a weird change. I think it's a good change. But like, why not just also change that he doesn't look 16 years older than her? Like, if you're going that far, like, I don't know, because at that point, like, even if you have consent, this dude's like looks like a 30-year-old with a 15-year-old. Because Halle Bailey, like now, like during the press, even now looks like she's like 5 years older than she like did in this movie. So
I also will applaud Halle Bailey for, I think, how old was she when she got cast? Because she got cast like 4 or 5 years ago at this point.
Something
It's
like
been
that,
a while.
Yeah. And I don't know how old she is now. What is she, like 21?
Yeah, so whatever. So say she got cast at 17. 17, man, I would have lost my mind if I had this much discourse on the internet just about me. So like really good for her just being a good person and you know, making it through that. Because it was a lot of shitty discourse. And I think most people who see this movie say she's fantastic. But you know, there's still a lot of people online that are just not going to see it and are still going to bitch and moan about it.
Right. Yeah, I'm totally rooting for her. But whereas like the movie is not super high on, but I'm rooting for her.
She's got like 2 other movies this year. I think.
The Color Purple coming out in December, and then I don't know what the other one is. I told Riley this when we were walking. I was like, how like epic would it have been if like Vanessa would have been Chloe Bailey? Like that would have been such a like epic final battle, just like her twin sister or whatever. Or I don't know if are they twins or just sisters, but if that was like who the Ursula turned into at the end to steal Eric away from her, and then they had to battle each other. That would have been an iconic reveal. But
Chloe Bailey's 24. I don't think Halle Bailey's that old. Maybe she is.
They look pretty similar, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're
23.
23. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe she got cast at 19. Even then, I'd still be a dick to people online. But
yeah, I don't think that's all I should have. I thought overall like
she's mentally stronger than all of us.
Yeah, I think I definitely had more thoughts like while I was in the theater, but
couldn't write your notes down.
Yeah, I couldn't take my notes. Bummer, Bill.
One thing like which is like it didn't take me out of the movie because like I think representation in kids movies is awesome because like the more you can get the better because like kids look up to these and like can see themselves in these movies. But I thought it was weird like all their sisters like I don't know, basically like did Javier Bardem just like get around as King Triton? Just like did he have like 10 different mothers? Because that's what you'd like think from like all her sisters.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I didn't look into it too much, but probably. I mean, he's king of the sea. You know, he's getting around.
Yeah, because her mother died, but we don't know about the other mothers.
You flex that shit out of Barbie.
Yeah,
nice with it.
But God, just such a weird performance from him, man.
Yeah, he was.
Now I'm intrigued by it. Now I want to watch it to see what you guys are talking about.
I'm totally watching Hamilton this week, though.
So like, yeah, George, like just for Javier Bardem, like. I don't think like most of it isn't even his fault. It's just like the way they frame him, just so weird in so many scenes. That there's that one scene specifically at the end that is, yeah, he does look really weird.
Looks weird. I don't think it's like he's terrible. He looks weird.
yeah, but that's all we got on
All right.
the Little Mermaid.
We'll wrap up. Yeah, we'll wrap up the Little Mermaid there, and then we'll wrap up our movie reviews with Tyler. If you want to give like a brief run through of your triple feature, you watched Kandahar, The Machine, Cocaine Bear, A True Story, and You Hurt My Feelings. 3 of those being less than a 1.5 out of 5 stars. So brutal week of movie watching for you.
Yeah, it's been rough. So the Cocaine Bear, The True Story, I don't know. I think I first saw it pop up on Peacock like a couple weeks ago, but it was like a 50-minute documentary, so I threw it on. And it's about like the guy who skydived out with the bear, because we all saw Cocaine Bear, right? So we kind of know like the whole. Yeah. It's about like the guy who like died skydiving out of the plane, as opposed to like the bear itself. And this movie was the documentary is so weird because all the people they interviewed, because the guy was from Kentucky, and they just interviewed like the local mayor and like sheriff from Kentucky, and like I'm not even kidding you, like 10 minutes of this movie was dedicated to them being like, a true homegrown Kentucky boy would never get messed up, and like a Kentucky boy morals would never do this. Like, and this is just Kentucky propaganda. It was just awful documentary. You Hurt My Feelings. I love those. An A24 movie. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Super funny, super dramatic. Like the trailers honestly didn't completely sell me on it, but it's A24 and it was a Sundance release, I think, but I didn't get to see it. So I was like, I'm in. Went to see it. Very much enjoyed it. Just very well written. Just like it's a movie that it's just such a simple story about just like the white lies you tell your partner in their life, and kind of what happens if you find out your partner's been white lying to you. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I think the writing was super solid. There's only like one scene I really didn't like, but other than that, it was like one of my favorites of the year. And yeah, I love Bert Kreischer. I don't know if you or Cam has seen any of his like stand-ups, but I enjoy his stand-up specials. The Machine, the stand-up story itself, I really enjoyed when I first heard it like years ago. But they turned it into a movie with him, and his dad in the movie is Mark Hamill. So I was like, I'm excited to see this. Like, what is Luke Skywalker and the Machine gonna get up to? But basically, the Machine story is like him going to Russia on a field trip when he was in college and getting messed up with the Russian mafia. And basically, like, he tells a story, like, that's his like main comedy stand-up special, and this whole movie's about like just a theatrical retelling of that. But now he's getting re-entangled with the mob because they're like mad that he's talking about all this stuff from 20 years ago. So now they want to like, and they apparently like stole a pocket watch in the story, so now they're like trying to get the pocket watch back. So him and his dad, Luke Skywalker, go over to freaking Russia and get entangled with the mob. And it just was like pretty bland and boring. It wasn't like offensively bad. I just didn't love it at all. And then Kandahar with Gerard Butler is just like another like, it's just Gerard Butler, like, it's what he's done the past 10 years. Just like an action war flick that's just got like no substance to it. That's just pretty boring and bland, and it's Gerard Butler. You can't really expect much these days. Even though like because I just finished my 100th 2023 release of the year, so I was going back and looking at my rankings of the year so far. Like, I was looking back fondly on Plane. I was like, I had fun with that. Like, seeing Plane in theaters, like, it was a good time. Whereas like Kandahar was just not. It's a lot more serious than Plane. Whereas Plane kind of leaned into the fact that it's just like bananas with them on that island. But yeah, that's it for all the new releases. So
yeah, at this point, you know exactly what you're going into with a Gerard Butler movie.
Yeah, it's weird because he's always been that like action guy, and it's funny because he had that like 5-year spurt where they tried to make him like a rom-com guy, and I feel like there was a couple that were pretty good, but like I feel like it never
was like P.S. I Love You or something.
Yeah, and I think what was The Bounty Hunter or something, like
The Bounty Hunter,
which was like a mix of his rom-com and his action stuff. But yeah, he's like had some like pretty decent movies, but for the most part, you're getting Olympus Has Fallen, rinse and repeat for 10 years.
Yeah. Hey, I like Olympus Has Fallen a good amount.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, I haven't seen either in a long time. I can't remember if I liked White House Down more than Olympus Has Fallen or not. But yeah, it's Gerard Butler. You can't expect much.
Yeah, I don't think anyone does at this point. But all right, if you are enjoying this episode, regardless of where you are watching it, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, make sure you're following. Make sure you're hitting the like. Tam is showcasing our merch. Tyler is showcasing our merch that has dropped. Check the merch out. Check out the Patreon. Make sure to leave us a rating on Spotify and Apple. I don't think you can leave ratings on YouTube, but the ratings help us greatly. And of course, we are all over social media.
You can leave a thumbs up.
You can leave a thumbs up. Thumbs us up on YouTube.
Like this video.
All over social media, YouTube. That's a lie. I just mentioned YouTube. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, we're all over, so make sure you're following. Cam, you want to kick us off with our little jingle?
Hey, 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 it's trailer time.
We need that on merch. We need that somewhere on merch.
One
Oh,
day.
do you guys remember when toothbrushes, like back in the day, used to have like tooth
Yeah,
tones of like,
hefties.
we needed the
Yeah.
hey, it's trailer time
We
tooth
needed
tones for
tooth
the kids to
tones.
brush the kids at home.
Brushing
Get
your
Bailey one of
teeth
those
and-
when he starts brushing his own teeth.
Hey, I'd buy one, man. Just be my voice all day.
All
I'd buy
right.
it.
The biggest trailer of the week was obviously the final Barbie trailer, or the official Barbie trailer. It came with the news of the soundtrack, which includes the Kid Laroi, Tame Impala, Ryan Gosling, Nicki Minaj, Dua Lipa, Lizzo, and Haim, just to name a few.
Dua Lipa didn't deserve that. She deserved number one.
Sorry, Dua Lipa's number one, followed by everyone else,
Damn
as
right.
per Cam Walsh 27. But this trailer, I don't think it did anything more for my excitement than the first trailer. Like, I'm still at a 10 out of 10 for excitement here. I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely like fun seeing like where this movie is going. I think we got a little more Will Ferrell in this movie, which was awesome. What were you guys' thoughts on this trailer?
I think for me, I'm already excited for this. Like, it was never in question if I was going to be. I feel like if people were on the fence, like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, this added to it, because this was a really good trailer, I think. Margot Robbie's great. Ryan Gosling's great. Will Ferrell, I think he's a good actor when he tries. I'm excited for it. I don't know what else to say. It's just pure excitement at this point. It's the same, like if Oppenheimer dropped a trailer, which I guess they already have too. It's the same thing. I'm excited. That's all you can really say.
I feel like with movies like Barbie and Oppenheimer, they could have just dropped the first teaser and they would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Barbie, I think, is big in the film world, but I don't know if it's big.
That's what I keep saying, because like, and no one believes me, but like Riley genuinely thinks this movie looks so dumb. Like, she's not excited for
Really?
Barbie at all, and like that's like people in the real world, like no one on film Twitter like understands it. Like, people in the real world all think Barbie is gonna be such a stupid movie, and like all my friends who like aren't movie people are like wouldn't even consider like Barbie to be like a radar movie that they'd watch. So like I think like the trailers are more important than
Is
that
it
for that
rated
than
R?
Oppenheimer. No, it's PG.
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't think the official rating's been dropped yet, but that'd be a grave mistake.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not.
Yeah, that would
PG,
be-
but
I think it's
Why?
PG-13.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has it? I don't think it's been officially like released, like the rating.
Probably.
But no.
It
Like
probably hasn't.
for my thoughts on the trailer, I thought it looks cool. It's like it looks more like Enchanted than it does the Truman Show, which like isn't like a knock or like in any way. I'm just more saying like what like the vibe I was getting from it, where it's kind of like gave me Enchanted vibes, which I love Enchanted, so that's gonna be awesome. And yeah, I don't know. There's like George said it all. Like there's nothing really more they could do to make me more excited. Like I don't know what they could do to make me more amped for this movie than I already am.
Drop like, I don't even know. I don't know what
more,
else they
more,
could do.
more
Like a Timothy
Margot
Chalamet
Robbie.
hint or like a
Yeah,
Saoirse
yeah,
Ronan
like,
hints.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing.
Oh wow, this is gonna be the first movie without Saoirse Ronan with Greta Gerwig. Same with Timothy Chalamet now.
because they underwent some reshoots in the last month for Barbie, so like people were like speculating on films where like, oh, they're gonna add in Saoirse and
Maybe they're-
Timothy. But yeah, it's the first
They're
movie she's doing without both of them in it.
Oh
Damn.
no, that'd be so funny if you just like see it when like Barbie goes to the real world, you just see like Timmy and Saoirse dressed in like their like ladybird fits, just walking in the back.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be funny.
I will say Dua Lipa song dropped already, and it's the song of the summer.
Yeah, it's a
Shit
banger.
Shit is fire, man.
For sure.
I love Dua Lipa so much.
How many times are you gonna ask for that to be played at a bar this summer?
As many as I can, man. I will bring
Every time you go out.
I will bring my.
You might need to make some
play-
merch that says "Play More Dua Lipa" on the
Play
shirt.
more Dua Lipa. Yes, sir. I think we need that. I love that. Play more Dua Lipa. That's
all right.
all I'm holding up at parties.
Another trailer we got was just the final Flash trailer. Again, I think for the most part, the only thing that really confirmed was Jeremy Irons returning as Alfred. Other than that, I don't think that trailer really gave more. Again, I've seen the movie, but I still think that the first two trailers did show a lot. So I think a third trailer is just kind of unnecessary, but it did confirm for you guys that Alfred is returning.
I didn't
Jeremy
know that.
Irons.
Of all the things I like find online, I didn't know he was returning. So cool. I didn't watch
Yeah.
this trailer. So
Yeah,
there's
I
your-
mean,
there's your
why
hint.
would you? It's like the
Yeah,
sixth
right.
trailer. Like at this point, just stop releasing them. It's getting annoying.
Yeah.
And then we also had a trailer to Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, which I believe is the movie that Straw Hat Goofy is going to be.
Yeah, he's playing. He's like a gym teacher, right?
Yeah, he's playing gym teacher.
Shout out Straw Hat.
Shout out Straw Hat.
Definitely listener of the pod. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure. I did not like this trailer at all, if I'm being honest. I saw it in theaters on Friday night for the first time when I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for a third time. And I was like, this is just, I don't know. It seems like the most bare minimum Mermaid versus Kraken story ever. It's going to be like high school, middle school drama. And I was like, this looks just not that great. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer or what your thoughts are, but I didn't particularly love it.
Yeah, they showed the trailer before the Little Mermaid. Cam, did they show up before your Little Mermaid screening, or did you show up late?
Did you? Yeah, I showed up after it, but I did watch it.
Okay, well, bold to play before the Little Mermaid, because they literally say like, who likes mermaids, and they're like stupid people, like literally in the trailer. I was like, that's bold to play in a theater full of kids about to watch a Little Mermaid. I was literally like, I was kind of surprised, like legitimately surprised. Like I'm surprised they approved this. Because like they literally, I think that's the line verbatim. Is they're like, who likes mermaids anyways? It's like stupid people. I
wonder if they have a say of what plays in front of their movies. Like outside of a screening, do you think they have a say?
Well, because I mean, they say like this preview has been approved, but I think that's more about like the rating as opposed to like the company. You know, so like this following preview has been approved to show. But yeah, I agree with George. Like I'm not as hot on this as George. Like it's like it doesn't look like anything great. It doesn't look like anything egregiously bad. It looks like worse than Elemental to me, but like I fully am confident Elemental will be better, but I'm just saying like the Elemental trailer to me looks like it's just gonna be such a very middle of the road Pixar movie, whereas this looks like middle of the road but maybe a little more towards the bad side. But that makes sense. I forgot Straw Hat Goofy was in this because like a lot of movie TikTokers do the whole like every movie releasing in like this month that like you should be prepared for, and a lot of people were talking about this one, and when I did mine I'm like, I'm not talking about this movie. I was like, maybe they're just like shouting out Straw Hat, but I don't think anyone's really, I don't think it's going to be a box office mover or anything.
No, I think like you mentioned with Elemental, like Pixar's just kind of got a grip on me where I'll be excited for any movie they release. This DreamWorks, like they have good movies and they have bad movies. And I guess you could say that for Pixar as well, but I think they hit way more often than they miss.
For sure.
And so if this is like middle of the road DreamWorks versus Elemental being middle of the road Pixar, like those are two very different things in my opinion. But yeah, I think it looks fine. I'm not gonna say I'm pumped. Like this kind of like Barbie on the exact opposite scale. You couldn't have given me a trailer that made me like more excited for this thing. I don't think so. Like it just kind of keeps my interest at like 5 out of 10. That's about where I'm at.
And we didn't even get Straw Hat in the trailer, unless I missed it. But
I don't think so. I don't think.
Yeah, we didn't even like get anything from him in the trailer. So
I'm sure it'll be like a minor role, but a much bigger role than Soups in At Midnight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also,
Jesus.
Do you think voice acting's harder than? Well, so Soups played himself. So Soups just made a YouTube video and they just like put it in At Midnight.
Yeah.
But do you think I don't know how hard voice acting is like harder than like, I'm trying to think of another TikToker in a movie. What's his name did in Cocaine Bear, that one TikToker.
Oh yeah, or like Addison Rae. He's all that.
No, Addison Rae was not bad.
Stop.
Stand by it.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going. I think voice acting is hard. I don't think it's anywhere near as hard as real acting, but it's like super. Like I don't know. It's like I don't want to take anything away from voice acting. I'm like huge on the voice acting. It's like a very tough skill, but like it's just not acting. Like it's not like that's a whole. You have to add in facial structures, like body language, and
Tyler Whitmore says voice acting is not acting. Clip that.
Yeah. Well, even though I just posted a video the other day saying there should be an Oscar for voice acting.
There should be.
There should be.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Literally should be. And the final trailer we have, which we don't even really need to talk about, this is the new Netflix. I don't even know if it's a Netflix original, but it's a new Netflix TV show called Skull Island, which is set within the MonsterVerse, which has me very excited because I'm a big fan of the MonsterVerse, even if those movies haven't been particularly amazing.
No, Godzilla vs. Kong was amazing.
It was not amazing. It was good.
Kong Skull Island wasn't amazing, but that video is something about the visuals and that, like the color palette they use. Like
Dude, they're so dope.
I know. Everyone always talks about, like Grand Budapest Hotel, Blade Runner 2049, but Kong Skull Island's like probably in my top 10 of like just most like visually appealing, just like colors on a screen because they're so like
It's
the oranges
so
are so
good.
crazy. Because we were like in Universal when Riley and I watched it for the first time a couple months ago. I was like, this is a fine like average movie, but this is like a good like looking color palette.
And then
we got on our
that
screen.
one scene where like Tom Hiddleston is just slicing those bird things and like the green powder is floating it. Like
I do
it
like
just-
that. I do
Yeah.
like that.
But then even the Godzilla movies, like King of the Monsters, again, not that great of a movie, but it just looks insane.
Yeah.
The first scene where King Ghidorah comes out and she's just like 3 heads staring over everyone and like the lightning in the background, the blues, it just looks
That's awesome.
unbelievable.
In my opinion, the MonsterVerse has continuously gotten better. Like it goes Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong. I think they consistently get better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I have fun with them, just like I have fun with like the Meg. So like, when is the Meg gonna be wrapped into the MonsterVerse? Like, it's just so naturally fitting.
That'd
Like,
be
that's just
so
so naturally
funny.
fitting.
Should be. It's interesting that
be-
this is a Netflix show when the MonsterVerse is so heavily Warner Bros. And I know like Netflix isn't necessarily like against Warner Bros. But they are their own studio. So it's interesting that this is like crossing studios. You know, it's a little odd.
Very interesting. All right, that's the end of our trailer segment. We will move on to news. Some decently big news this week. Not really big news, but maybe news that just warrants attention. The first of which, and Tyler, I'll kick it off to you immediately because I did see a tweet about it. John Wick Chapter 5 confirmed to be in early works. Tyler, you tweeted that you like the John Wick franchise. You think John Wick 4 is a great movie, but you don't think John Wick Chapter 5 is warranted. And I agree with that. What are your thoughts? Any more you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not alone in that take. There's a lot of people on Twitter that agree with that sentiment. But the thing is, like, it's just as film fans, we got to just stop expecting like franchises or like movies to like stop when they're ahead. Because like it's not just that they're having John Wick 5, which maybe they can make great, but they have the Continental, they have Ballerina, and they said 2 to 3 other spinoffs in production right now. So like you guys just gotta like accept that the John Wick franchise is going to be overdone. I know all of them have been very good so far. There's 0% chance that every single spinoff, 5 spinoffs that they're working on right now, are all going to be just as good as the first 4 John Wicks. I don't know. There's just like, it's just weird because this movie started off as just a singular movie. They never planned on building out this crazy universe, and now it's just kind of like evolved into it, which they've done a masterful job at building out that lore, taking from the first movie nuggets that they had and expanding on it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, and it's weird too because I saw some people that when John Wick 4 ended, they were like, "Oh, I don't think like spoilers for John Wick 4, so pause your screen or skip forward 10 seconds if you don't want to hear spoilers for John Wick 4." People were like, "Oh, like I don't think he actually died. Like he's gonna come back in John Wick 5," and they were like excited for that when the movie first came out. And I'm seeing those same people just saying on Twitter saying we don't need a John Wick Chapter 5. So I think they're starting to just drink the Kool-Aid and do what everyone else is doing. Because I swear some of these takes that I see that people say we don't need John Wick 5 very much wanted after John Wick 4. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure the action will be cool, but do we need it? No. And one thing, like just a random aside, I hate when people say, "Oh, we don't need any movie." Like, yeah, we know, but John Wick 5.
I'm a big.
I was gonna say,
guy.
Yeah,
Cam says that all the time.
Any movie guy.
Cam
all right.
says that
It's all right.
every episode.
It's just my belief. That's all right.
But yeah, no, that's what confuses me with John Wick Chapter 5 is because again, we're spoiling John Wick Chapter 4. Who the fuck cares? Like he died. Did he die at the end of it, or do we think he's coming back, or do we think like
He's coming back apparently?
Because he has to, because like
know.
everyone's like, "Oh, well, it just followed Donnie Yen and stuff," and it's like they already have spin-offs that are gonna be doing that. So
Yeah.
like John Wick 5 is gonna be John Wick because they already have spin-offs for every other character.
And if it doesn't follow John Wick, why would you call it John Wick 5? Like,
Right.
I don't know. I like the way John Wick Chapter 4 ended. Like, I think it ended like really nicely for like the character of John Wick. Obviously, I don't think it wrapped up like that story. Like, there's still more you could expand with Donnie Yen and like the 2 Continental guys. But yeah, I don't know. I think John Wick's like story ended in Chapter 4, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they come back with Chapter 5.
Yeah, they just ended it so well in Chapter
I
4 for him.
know.
That was one of the better character send-offs like you could have. It was
Yeah.
just so perfect. But I don't know, Cam, what do you think?
To counter Tyler's point of like no movies needed, or I'm a believer in like if it's good, great. It's hard to make, especially in this universe where it's just pure action. It's hard to make 5 good movies. Am I amped? No. But I do like the John Wick universe a lot. I think when, I originally had that movie at a 5 out of 5. It's dropped a bit since, but I still think it's really great. John Wick 4, that is. Like I said, if it's good, that's awesome. I'm glad we got it. But if it's not, then I think it's a sign of, we probably should have stopped this at 4. Also, do we know, we don't know anything about it, so probably not. If Chad Stahelski comes back, it's great. But I feel like it's hard to get him to come back for a 5th movie, I gotta assume, unless he doesn't really do anything else, I feel like. So maybe it is easy to get him to come back. Who knows? But if he comes back, that's a bonus, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sure he'll come back for it. Like, obviously, like, this is very early news, so all we know is just his in development. But I wonder what his involvement will be in. So we have, obviously, Ballerina's confirmed. Connell's confirmed, but I don't think they named the other 2, but they said they have 2 to 3 other in works right now, spinoffs. So I wonder if he's, like, James Gunning this, Kevin Feigeing this, like, overseeing it all, or if, like, the studio's taking the reins from him. And I think the answer to that question will be pivotal into how good these projects are going to be.
It would be stupid if he didn't oversee all of this. Like, this is his baby. Like, it would be dumb for him not to continue watching over this absolute precious franchise.
That's true.
Next up, we got Quentin Tarantino talking about his final film, basically saying that the movie Critic takes place in California in 1977 and is based on a guy who really lived but was never really famous, and he used to write movie reviews for a porno rag. Tarantino also says that I think this has been confirmed, but he will stop directing after this one, and he came out with a statement saying it's just time to go out. I like the idea of going out on top. I like the idea of giving it my all for 30 years and then saying, okay, that's enough. I think that's a load of horse shit. I don't think there's any chance he stops directing. Maybe he stops directing film, but
right.
Does he have a show?
He has a show.
He has a show.
He said he wants to do some TV, and then he also said he wants to write like a play, so like stage stuff. So he's still gonna, because he also said a couple of weeks ago, he was like saying like how Hollywood's dying, but he's like, I'm gonna be one of the last people here, like turn on the lights, because he like loves like old school cinema. So I think he's still gonna be in the industry, and I don't think he's like said he won't be in the industry, but I think he's definitely been very firm as his last film he's making. But I agree with you, George. I think it's only a matter of time till he comes back.
Yeah, and then go, Cam. No,
you got it.
I was just gonna say that the news around this new movie like doesn't excite me, just because I don't think we have enough information to be excited. Obviously, Tarantino attached to any film is like enough to make someone's balls tingle, but I don't think we have enough information to get like giddy about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was more so like, this is one of those things where just like any other career, I feel like 30 years, man, get the fuck out. Like as soon as I can retire comfortably, I will be retiring comfortably. And it's one of those things like where Martin Scorsese is still working, and he had a really emotional like piece with maybe the Hollywood Reporter or something where he's like, man, it sucks. Like I'm old and I know it, and I know it's coming to an end, which that's really sad, but also just, I don't understand how you work for that long and just still enjoy it. Like I'm very happy that they love it. So I kind of respect that Quentin Tarantino's like, I just want to retire. I just want to be done with this, because like I get that as an average working man, I get that. And I
Cam
also
just
really
like Tarantino for real.
Yeah, he just like me. He just like me for real. Except all the bad things he does. Anti that.
Has he done any bad? Has he gotten like canceled for stuff?
He did write a movie where he dropped the N-word, so like.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, yeah.
I mean, like it's not great.
Right.
I don't think he's a terrible person, but like he definitely did write that movie and did cast himself in that position. Yeah. So that's very, very weird.
I will say for the movie critic though, like, I know George doesn't love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I'm so excited to see another set.
I love Once Upon a Time.
This time period based in California, like, because even if you don't like the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like, you gotta admit, like, the setting he was able to make with that old school look in Hollywood was so cool. Like all like the neon lights and the way the city looked in the cars, and like I'm so excited to go back to basically the same time period. This will be like 8 years after that, but still similar vibes in California again. Like I'm just excited for that like production design, because that's just gonna be so nice. And he also said he wants to cast someone who's going to be like a 35-year-old man for this. And then I saw someone quote tweet that. He said he wants to be about a 35-year-old man for the lead, and someone who he hasn't worked with before. And he has a few ideas in mind, but then someone quote tweeted that with Michael Cera and his age being 34. And that'd be so funny if Michael Cera is freaking playing a this character, but obviously it's not going to be that because he said it's going to be more like a Taxi Driver-ish kind of role. So Michael Cera would just be hilarious in that kind of role. But I'm excited for it. Excited to see what he has planned for his final movie.
Yeah.
Moving, that's all we want to say about Tarantino, I'm pretty sure.
Nothing else.
Yeah. I need more information on the movie. That's really it. I feel like we say that every week about some movie. Interesting bit of news that I thought was I wish Seth was here for this one. And maybe we'll just let him touch on it on one of our Real Clicks or even next week. But the Safdie brothers are splitting up for their next film, with Josh Safdie set to direct their new Adam Sandler and Ben Affleck movie. This is just very interesting news to me because obviously they've been very successful as a duo. It kind of feels like Joel and Ethan Coen separating for Macbeth, which obviously a lot of people, I myself was not the biggest fan on. So I don't know. Do you have anything to touch on that?
Benny, well, people are saying it makes sense because Benny's acting more these days, but Benny's always been cast and stuff because I guess he's going to be in Oppenheimer. He's in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. But he was in Good Time and he's been acting and stuff. Whereas Josh Safdie never, I don't think he's ever had an acting role. So I don't know. It's weird because they're speaking of directors who are in hot water. They have some major controversies over the production of Good Time.
For sure.
And they're just I don't want to say king because that's a positive thing, but they're just putting a master class and just avoiding talking about issues and just
I wonder if it is something to do with that though.
I wonder. It's weird, but I don't know. They definitely are just they're firm in their belief that they're just not going to address any of that because it's been probably 2-3 months. Maybe that's a stretch. It's been 1 or 2 months since that news came out that their production of Good Time had a lot of very big red flags to it, and none of them have said anything about it. But I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see them separated. We'll see how it goes. I agree with George. I didn't like when the Coen brothers split up just because I thought the tragedy of Macbeth was not great. But I don't know if them being together would have made me like that movie anymore.
In 20 years, this will be the Jonas brothers getting back together in the movie world.
Yeah, I like that you added the caveat in the movie world because the average person doesn't give a fuck about this news.
No,
they don't know who the hell the Safdie brothers are.
No. Yeah, this will be that.
Also, the Safdie brothers news kind of came out at the same time that Jonathan Majors news came out, so I feel like it was wildly overshadowed.
That's also, man.
Which also has kind of been blown under the rug over the last 2-3 weeks, which is crazy.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Will Ferrell is in talks to star as John Madden in David O. Russell's Madden, a film about the origin of the Madden video game. Just wild. David O. Russell is still making movies.
Dude, that sentence you literally just said was a Mad Lib. That was just a Mad Lib, of the worst. Because Will Ferrell, at this point in his career, is not really dropping great movies. So Will Ferrell and talks to star in a John Madden biopic by David O. Russell, and then it's not even about
the shittiest director you can think of.
Right, and me personally, as a football fan, I would be happy to see a John Madden biopic, but this is about the video game. It's not about John Madden's life. So I was this funny. This is just a Mad Lib of the worst possible movie.
Someone typed it to Chat GBT. Write the worst movie ever.
Yeah. This is a Chat GPT movie.
This is Chat GPT.
I do. Like I've said, I think Will Ferrell is good when he tries. I think I more so have issues with his recent comedy stuff because they all suck in my opinion for the most part.
Eurovision's good though.
Eurovision, okay. I liked Eurovision. I did like Eurovision. But that part is the best part of this news. Again, it's like the Halle Bailey being the best actress this year. It's not much competition in that headline. I mean,
he just doesn't like it. Man, if someone came to me and said cast someone to play John Madden, Will Ferrell's not landing in my top 250 of choices. It's just a weird choice.
Do you think he'll put on the weight? Do you think
that's what I'm wondering? I wonder if he was told his agent, he's I'm just ready to let go at this point in my life. I'm ready to eat. Cast me a role where I'm allowed to eat.
Yeah. Probably.
All right. I feel like we're going from one controversial thing to the next, but next up we have HBO's latest TV show, The Idol. At one point it had fallen to a 9%, which had made it HBO's lowest rated show. It's now back up to a 27%. I don't plan on watching this show.
No, I'm not gonna watch it, man.
I don't think anyone plans on watching this show. This bit of news was way cooler when it was a 9%. 27% doesn't seem like
It's still their worst rated, though, right?
No, I think Velma now is their worst rated.
Oh, Velma sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, Cammy actually watched it and agree with the hate for it.
Yeah, Velma was terrible. I watched 3 episodes and couldn't finish it.
I'm just speaking of HBO. I'm just watching so much Succession lately that all I can think about is like boardroom meetings and stuff. So I'm just like picturing Sam Levinson and team being like, just going to HBO and be like, look, our ratings are up 300% in the last day. Like this show is on a trajectory that we will be at 120% on Rotten Tomatoes in like 2 days. But yeah, this show is going to be awful. Like I'm not going to watch a single minute of it.
It had a 9% with like 11 reviews, and now it has a 27% with 15 reviews, which means those 4 additional reviewers had to have given it like positive scores.
Yeah.
Which is just disgusting.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I think, God, just everything I've heard about this show just makes me not want to watch it. And like, I know like Johnny Depp's also a controversial man, but like, this is a weird, like, I just can't imagine being a father and like having your like daughter play someone who's like literally like described as being like, quote, like, what is she? She's like literally quote, like the cum dumpster or something like that of like celebrities like in the show. Like, it's like, man, that's just gotta be rough as a dad. I know he's like probably not really like an involved, I don't know. He doesn't seem like the greatest guy, but
Velma has a
everything about it
on Rotten Tomatoes from
look
is it really?
Score. It's got 7% audience, but it's 40%.
Oh,
critic.
there you go.
All right,
Yeah.
so I guess the
I don't
idol
know.
is below.
This is interesting though, because like Euphoria was so highly watched with teenagers, and it's like that show is definitely problematic in its own right, but it's not the Idol problematic. So it's like going to be interesting and like unfortunate to see if that same demographic carries over to all binge the Idol, because I don't think this is a show we want teenagers to be watching. Like, maybe like, and I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. There's definitely a possibility that all the critics are overblowing everything. I don't think that's the case, but I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt because I haven't seen anything of it yet, so I don't want to just completely say it's the worst thing anyone's ever made without watching it. But I don't know. I'm not going to be watching this. But then again, I didn't watch Euphoria either. But I know, George, you watched Euphoria, but even you as a Euphoria watcher aren't going to be watching The Idol.
I'm still not watching that. I mean, Euphoria, I say this all the time. I think Euphoria season 1 is genuinely great. I think it's a really good season of television. Season 2, it over sexualizes 17 and 16-year-olds. Like, obviously season 1 does the same, but season 2 just kind of takes it to like another level. And it also just kind of like loses track of the plot every so often. So
Sam Levinson also said some weird stuff this week.
He did. He said like, God,
he said
again,
like
I think Sydney tweeted it again too, but I'm forgetting what it was. It was like something weird he said at Cannes. And then obviously he got like a 10-minute standing ovation at Cannes, which I just
for a 27%.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
A bit of news that I just thought was pretty interesting, just because it was a little unexpected. Rebel Wilson says she auditioned last year for the role of the next for a role in the next James Bond film. I can't see.
She looks good now, though.
She looks very good. I don't know. I can't see her like other than like a comedian.
Yeah.
You know? So like when I saw that she was like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't her. Maybe she was just like entertaining it, but maybe she was genuinely interested in being in a James Bond film. I was like, that seems like an interesting career decision there.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't see her in James Bond just purely because like literally 0% to do with her looks. It's just about like her past roles. To me, she's just a comedian in my mind.
Exactly. Like that's her demeanor. Like, I don't know. Maybe seeing her play like I don't know, like a villain who just cracks jokes left and right.
The Disneyfication of Bond.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think Bond's
directs Bond.
I was gonna say Bond's never been comedic, but I'll say the Daniel Craig movies weren't comedic. Bond and like pretty much every Bond before Daniel Craig was pretty comedic.
Yeah.
So if they want to go back to that, maybe, but I don't know. I could see her working as like someone like high up in MI6. Like I feel like her in like a suit or something. I could see her being like a, basically like the person that's like back at base that kind of communicates with Bond or something. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting bit of news for sure.
Yeah, definitely fun. And then not even news, but we get Furiosa in just under a year. I think it was like 1 year on Saturday, yesterday or Friday. Just another I watch. When we went through, I think it was like 2 weeks ago when we did like our favorite scenes of all time. I can't believe I didn't have a Mad Max Fury Road scene in there.
You did. Did you not have?
I thought you had the end of the
No.
storm. You didn't have the one where they drove into
Did
the...
I have Storm is Coming?
I think you did.
Okay, well then it should be in my top 10.
Okay.
Storm
Okay.
is Coming, or even Brothers in Arms. Both of those scenes are so goddamn good, and I just watched it's Mad Max Fury Road for me is like Spider-Verse, where like on YouTube, it's probably my most rewatched like movie clips. Just the sheer amount of time I rewatched Leap of Faith, I rewatched Storm is Coming, Brother in Arms, just shit like that. So I'm really excited for Furiosa. I don't know where your excitement levels lie, but we obviously don't need to get into it. There's nothing we really know about this movie. And then last bit of news, James Cameron reportedly has said that he has started writing a new Terminator movie. However, he is waiting to see how AI develops in the real world before continuing the script. Interesting.
Great. Yeah, great.
I think that's less about AI writing scripts as opposed to like Terminator being such an AI-based movie.
Yeah.
Like if you just make a whole AI taking over the world plot and it like goes completely wrong. But I don't know. One thing my office, I've been waiting to redo it forever. I have all this stuff sitting here and it's been months and I haven't gotten to it. It will take me 3 hours tops to redo my office and I still can't do it. James Cameron, every movie he makes is like a 15-year ordeal. I don't get how he is able to like muster up that energy, be like, yeah, I'm taking on this project, knowing that that's like a 15-year commitment of his life. Like I can't even commit to something that's 2 hours of my day.
Yeah.
This next Terminator movie is going to be a 12-year thing.
You think he saw the trailer for The Creator and he was like, let me just drop this news real quick just so everyone can be thrown off?
Yeah.
Probably.
Like that's literally what The Creator is. It's basically another Terminator movie about AI.
That's fair.
But we'll move on to your news, and we have basically nothing. My fault for being a bad host. I forgot about the Secret Invasions trailer. Cam, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, it was just like a teaser trailer, and it happened. It also happened like Sunday night, so like right after we recorded. So,
I will say I like those teaser posters a lot for Secret Invasion.
Right. I think that it looks good.
They were very cool.
I think it looks good. I think they're very much leaning into like, hey, this is like Civil War but crazier, and they're like a lot of their marketing is like kind of trying to. I think they've had interviews like where they've said that. It also very much has like. It has a line in the teaser where it's like, why don't you ask like any of your other super friends or something? I think Olivia Colman says, and it's a very much just, I need to do this on my own kind of thing. But no, you don't. You don't. Just call up like Thor. Like, he will do this in seconds. But outside of that, I'm very excited for this show. I think this is, shockingly, I would say, this is probably my number one most anticipated MCU show from this year, even though I do love Loki.
Show,
okay. Is this the next MCU show coming out, or do we have something before?
So it's like June 21st.
Because we only have three this year, right? This, then Loki, then Echo.
But this is the first one we're getting in like a year. When did what was the last one we got?
She-Hulk. It's definitely not a year ago, but it was.
It was like fall, right? It wasn't winter. I think it was fall. Yeah,
it was probably like November.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, it was. They said they were going to take a break, and I'm shocked they're dropping. I think if this year they only had Secret Invasion and Loki, people would be really excited for these shows. I'm not saying you shouldn't be excited for Echo, but it's just like they said they weren't going to overpack the year, and then they kind of just said, fuck it. Yeah, we are.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's their own fault for the Echo lack of hype, because they haven't given us a reason to be hyped for it. Like everything they're doing for it's making audiences less hyped. So that's their own fault.
Yeah. I am excited though.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to hopefully move in the right direction. Adam Driver. I know we spoke about this, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, but there were rumors that he was going to be cast as Fantastic Four, at least, or Reed Richards.
As Fantastic Four.
Sorry,
the whole crew.
He's playing the whole crew. He's a crazy method actor like that. No, as Reed Richards, I believe the news was that he was offered the role. No news if he accepted or not. Cam, you sent us some.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confident that it's been confirmed. Like we got the whole. It has not been confirmed by like Disney, but it's been like scooped by basically everyone that the Fantastic Four cast is cemented now. So it's Adam Driver as Reed Richards, Sue Storm is played by Margot Robbie, Paul Mescal as Johnny Storm, and the Thing Ben something played by Daveed Diggs, which we spoke about him earlier. Go Daveed Diggs.
I think that's a dope cast.
That's a great cast, man.
But here's my thing with that cast. I don't see any world where Adam Driver and Margot Robbie have good chemistry. I think
they're both very good actors, so I'm not expecting
they are.
that.
They're two of the best. But like, I don't know. I just can't see them like working. I don't know. Obviously, they had to have done screen tests together if they're being cast together. So obviously, there's something there that we're not seeing. But just at face value, I don't see. I can see Paul Mescal and Margot Robbie having like great banter back and forth.
Well, one thing that's odd about Paul Mescal is that he's definitely still in the sphere. Like, he's about to break out of it, but he's still in the sphere of like film fans know him. Regular people don't. And so like the tweet that Cam sent, like a lot of the replies were like, Human Torch is supposed to be attractive. Who's this like unattractive man? Which like, I think Paul Mescal is attractive. I don't think he's conventionally attractive. I don't think he's like, he's not like a, I don't know, who's like a super stud. He's not like, Ryan Gosling, Henry Cavill, Cam Walsh. Yeah. Like, I think Paul Mescal's a little more niche maybe. I think he's very attractive. But like, yeah, there's a lot of replies to that tweet that are like, we need like Rudy Paincal. Like, Paul Mescal is not. Yeah. No, Cam, like literally the top reply to the tweet you sent is that. Like, someone saying like,
on right now.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying I'm just saying like people in the north, because like everyone else knows, so everyone knows pretty much Adam Driver and Margot Robbie. Daveed Diggs maybe is someone who like the average person. Well, Hamilton. So Paul Mescal is clearly the least famous or I think widely known of the four. But I don't know. And also like I love Paul Mescal. I think he's one of the greatest actors I have working. I don't know how much. I don't know. I don't know what chemistry I'll be able to see between him and Tom Holland. That's another criticism people had. I can't really picture them having like banter and being buddies because that's going to be a big, plot point. They're going to likely thread in if they want to be like the comics. Have is it Johnny Blaze or is that Ghost Rider? I always get those mixed up. Johnny Storm. Johnny Blaze is, I think, is Ghost Rider. But yeah, so like I don't know. I can't picture him and Tom Holland being buddies, but I love him as an actor. I don't know if I love the casting. I'm excited to see him. I'm not excited to see him in the MCU actually. I don't know. Whatever. I love Paul Mescal. I don't know if I'm excited with
where
casting.
Were you going with that?
I don't know. I was trying to say like I'm happy for him, but like I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
I saw this what I believe to be a very stupid opinion. Of like people are like, congrats to these four and never doing anything creative for the next 15 years. I think that's complete bullshit. I think they're more than capable of doing whatever they want, and this just like adds to that. But I did like there was one part of that tweet that went viral of like, also congrats to Daveed Diggs for just standing in a booth for like 2 hours or something and then getting paid $50 million. Good for him.
But he's gonna be a real person for the first like 20 minutes of the movie or something.
Yeah, no, he'll be a real person for I'm sure some of the movie, and then maybe they do the Fantastic Four 2 Rise of the Silver Surfer thing they did where they just all switch powers and then he's a real person for another 5 minutes.
Yeah. But I agree with you that they're not all going to be sucked away and never going to be anything. And like to that point too, like Margot Robbie has never been in small budget movies ever. I think About Time maybe is the only one. She's always been a blockbuster.
She's Harley Quinn. I, Tonya was like, it's not, I think
it's still like a wide theater release. It wasn't like an indie movie.
Yeah.
It's not big budget, but like.
But like Babylon was like 200 mil. Like Harley Quinn, Wolf of Wall Street. She's always like she's never been like this indie worker like Adam Driver had been for so long. But even Adam Driver, like he's had Star Wars, and like, but yeah, he's more of an indie guy. Paul Mescal. He is like people don't know it yet, but he's definitely not going to be an indie guy once these new movies he's working in come out.
And Gladiators. Marvel jumped on him so quickly. Like they had to have seen After Sun. Which have you guys ever seen him in anything else? I just looked at this film.
The Lost Daughter, which came out before After Sun.
I don't know if I've seen
Carmen, which I just saw.
Normal People.
That's a TV. That's a limited series, right, with Daisy Edgar Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I haven't watched him in any of those, but I'm like kind of open like to see what he can do as like not a depressed father. So like in any other setting, I'm interested to see what he can do. But I think he was the best performance of last year. So I'm
that'll be fun seeing him just be a dude that's just macking on ladies for 2 hours.
Like
trying to hit on them.
Yeah, not a depressed father. See what he's like in that. in that world.
All right, we'll move on. That'll wrap up the bulk of the episode. Let's run through quickly. What have we been watching this week? I know it's bad hosting, but I've watched 5 movies, so let me just run through them. The Flash, Zack Snyder's Justice League finally showed Victoria. She gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Tough for our relationship.
Wait, hold on. Did you show her the Justice is Black version, or did you show her the Okay, that would have been really thrown her in the deep end.
Justice is gray. Actually.
Justice is gray.
Right,
sorry.
But no, that would have been so brutal. we paused it at one point because she had to use the bathroom, and she looks at like the time at the bottom, and she goes, "It's only been an hour. God help me." But no, she made it through. She gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I think Jason Momoa helped that score a little bit. And then the next day she made me watch Aquamarine. Doo-doo. But whatever. And then I watched the Suicide Squad and I rewatched Guardians. So that's about all I've watched this week. I've been really bad again this week with taking things off my watch list, but whatever. Cam, what have you been watching?
This week I watched both Little Mermaids. I watched big Cam news of the week, the Into the Spider-Verse 100 out of 100. That thing's perfect. I saw.
What was it? 99 before, and
it was a 99 out of 100.
Officially moved it up. It was long overdue for you.
This is your 5th 100 out of 100.
Six.
Okay.
Which now that just feels like a silly number. I gotta drop one. No, I probably won't. But
no, you gotta add 4 and get to 10.
No, I gotta add 4 and get to 10.
Across the Spider-Verse, we'll get it to 100. So.
Yeah, you could drop.
Dude, everything I'm seeing, I'm more excited for Across the Jesus Christ, the Snyderverse, Across the Snyderverse than I am.
Clip it, chat. Cam is excited to restore the Snyderverse.
I am more excited for this movie than I was for Avengers Endgame, I think. I am so fucking amped. Everyone's saying this is better than the original. They probably don't think the original is perfect like me, so we'll see. But the reviews for that movie are absurd. So I'm very excited for that. I did finish watching Air this week. I loved it. I think there were a couple issues with it. I have an 83 out of 100. I really, really enjoyed it. It's my first 4 out of 5 of the year. I'm only at 25 movies, but first 4 out of 5.
Fun little stat.
Yeah, sure.
So you've given 4.5s and 3.5s and 5s, but no 4s.
Yep. No 4s. Giving a couple halves, giving 1s, giving 2s. So yeah, first 4. And I started, what's the movie called? I started Dungeons and Dragons, but that was last night. That was this morning before we recorded, before my son woke up. So I got 20 minutes in.
That was okay.
I'm enjoying it. We'll see where it lines out, but I'm sure there are others I just can't think of. I don't know, but yeah, I don't watch a ton of stuff anymore. Kind of sucks.
Tyler, you've basically talked about all the movies you've seen, but I do see that you started Love, Death, and Robots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So love it. I'm not going in release order. I'm not going in a recommended order. I'm going in literally just random order. And I started off I didn't look up anything. I started off with Zima Blue, and I was like, holy shit, that was so good. What am I in store for? Do I just find? Which, to be fair, I know there's a lot more to find, but I think the next one I watched wasn't bad. It was just average. And then I watched 2 that I just really didn't like, the yogurt one and the alternate histories. But yeah, so I think, because they're obviously 12 minutes each, so I was watching a bunch of them, and I started off so hot. I was like, holy crap, what is this show? This is so good. And then I think I just didn't watch the greatest ones after, so I'm still going to go through the whole library. But
if you're not going in release order, I have my ranking on Letterboxd. Yes. So obviously you should watch every single one, just because I think our opinions will differ on some episodes, but I don't know. They're 15-minute episodes. I can't imagine you and I have the craziest difference in opinions here. Right. So you could just run through my top 10 or something. Because I have a couple out of 4.5 out of 5. I think some of them are so fucking. I'm very excited for you to watch Sonny's Edge. That's my favorite.
Was that the one you put? Wasn't that in your top 10 favorite episodes of all time? Maybe, or I thought you did. Thought you talked about that recently for something.
Yeah, I think that was my number 10.
Yeah, but Zima Blue is so good though.
Zima Blue was so really good. Fucking good.
And then what else? So I watched Singing in the Rain, which it wasn't technically it's not my first. Well, okay, so basically I watched that movie a lot as a kid. It would just be playing, but I not even just when I was 12. It's I was 5. So I'm going to call this my first watch because I've seen it probably 20 other times but never remembered anything of it. So damn good. Like I gave it a 4.5 stars, but this is like probably going to get a 5 star on a rewatch. I just need to give it another watch, but I loved it. Just a banger of a movie. Rewatched the Suicide Squad. We'll talk about that. So if you're listening to this week's real quick review is going to be the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn version, not the, who is it? Zaslav? No, not Zaslav. Released whoever. Such a forgettable director. David Ayer, I think, did the original one. Not that one. Watch the James Gunn one. And on Thursday, you'll hear our review of that. And then I rewatched the Spider-Verse. I don't know, man. I might move this up to a 5 star. If Seth gave it a 5 star, it'd be more pressure, just like I put in the ReelTok collection. But I really enjoyed it. Like it's just like from a I'm not giving it a knock because everyone like obviously if you get a 4.5 star, all my comments are, oh, what the heck? Why is it so low? But it's just purely personal preference. Like production wise and like everything about it's a 10 out of 10. Like that's clear as day. It's just like preference. Like it's just not like my favorite thing to watch. Like you guys love rewatching the clips. I'm not that way, so it's like a 4.5 for me. So yeah, that's all I watched. Quick Woj bomb. So breaking news. We've just added a new country. Shout out Camille in Switzerland for ordering a band hoodie front back and a Why Are They Here Arrival t-shirt. So Switzerland has been added to the country list. I'll create a new map. I'm going to create like a map and just fill it in to get more people. But that is a new country. I think that's officially our 10th. But yeah, like while we were doing it, we got an email. It was like new order. And the currency was CHF. I was like, what the? I've never seen CHF currency in my life. But yeah. And it's also so funny, different currencies. Like I'll be like, someone drops like a, 300 kroner order or whatever. I don't know, freaking currency. But sometimes like, holy crap, how much do they buy? I'm like, oh, they bought like 2 t-shirts, but it's some weird currency I've never seen before in my life. But yeah, shout out Camille, adding Switzerland to list.
Amazing. So that's,
right.
Yeah, fantastic. Again. All right, we can wrap up our episode as always with our draft. So in honor of the Little Mermaid live action remake dropping this week, we're going to do a Disney movies draft. We can pick live action or animated. However, we have decided to exclude Star Wars or any superhero projects. I'm not in the mood to have another draft where our first 4 picks are Infinity War, Empire, Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
And, whatever.
At least Spider-Verse wouldn't have been eligible because that's not Disney. And that would have ruined
exactly.
everything. But yeah, no, I agree. No superhero is a good call.
Yeah. The order is Cam, George, Tyler. Again, Seth, we miss you, man. So Cam.
I'm a little pissed about this first pick. Sorry, I was trying to update my my movie spreadsheet. Because my one, no one else wants. Or like no one else wants it up here. So do I want it now or do I want to be strategic?
We know what you're talking about, and we've all had a history of being scummy, so you should take it before one of us.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. I know exactly.
Yeah.
We know exactly what he wants.
I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go wild. I'm going strictly for votes here. I had a good run of winning a couple in a row. I was feeling hot. Going for votes. I haven't gotten a win in a bit. I'm going with Coco to start off.
That's an interesting place to go.
That's just not the movie I thought you were going to say when you let up with all those votes. It's my favorite Disney movie ever, Cam. So I'm like Team Coco, thumbs up. But
yeah, I'm
not what I was thinking when you said like mega vote.
Interesting.
Pick.
I'm interesting to see where votes are going. Then
Riley will appreciate that. That's Riley's like favorite movie ever, and I love.
Yeah, that is a very interesting first pick. I'm gonna go with my first pick. I'm not going to be the one to do it. I'm going to go with The Incredibles.
I was wondering because clearly, like, obviously that's not a vetoed pick, but you said superhero films, but like I'm not vetoing that.
No, you're right.
No. I don't think it should be vetoed, but I think it like because you were saying, I was like, why isn't he just saying excluding Marvel films? I was like, maybe he's talking about Incredibles, but I think Incredibles is absolutely on the board. I think we can.
I think we can draft it. No Marvel.
Right. I was just wondering where he was going with saying like excluding superhero and not Marvel.
Bro, I swear when I think of The Incredibles, I like don't think of like superhero.
Same.
Movie,
No, but it's absolutely not a vetoed pick for sure.
I will change my pick if you want me.
No. I was just wondering why you were saying superhero, not Marvel, because I was like, what other superhero movies do they have? I was like,
I'm okay with that pick.
All right, back to backs for me because Seth was supposed to be the 4th pick, so I got to go back to back here. There's so many fun ones on here because I went deep into the Disney
We
library.
should just draft for Seth and give him real shit and put it on the graphic.
But there's so many fun ones. I'm excited for the honorable mentions because there's ones that like just shouldn't be picked, but I want to give shouts to. But sticking with the draft right now, we're gonna start off with Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Which I know Seth would be.
Everyone in the UK.
Yeah. So here, well, Seth isn't here. We miss you, but I'm gonna pick in the third pick Ratatouille, and Seth goes, "Oh damn it, that was my pick. Oh god."
I like that. I like the accent.
Yeah. Next up, we could go a lot of directions here. I'm not gonna be scummy today. Maybe George will be on the come around, but I'm not gonna be scummy just because I don't love it as much as you, so I shouldn't be picking it. We're gonna go. I could be scummy to George though, but I'm not gonna do it.
Well, actually, I don't even know what you're thinking of.
Are we taking out? Wait, no, we aren't. Okay, never mind.
Wait,
we should have taken out another studio just to make it more fun.
Pixar?
We should have taken out Pixar just to make it more fun.
Oh well, too bad.
Want to take out Pixar and restart?
I mean,
whatever.
Whatever. I'll do Wall-E. Wall-E.
We'll keep the Pixar. We're here already.
You like Wall-E? I'm anti-Wall-E.
What do you mean? Who
What
doesn't
do you
like
mean?
Wall-E?
I like Wall-E. It's just not as high on mine.
It's been a long time since I've watched it, to be fair.
This may be a little out of left field, but my second pick, I'm going to go Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Forgot they were freaking Disney movies. That's a good point.
I'm not going to lie. I thought I could get that. That was my next pick for votes. But the fact that I'm getting Toy Story right now is absurd.
You could have it.
Okay.
The only reason I didn't draft it is because I was overwhelmed with which one to pick. So I was like, I'm just picking none of them.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But the fact that I'm getting Toy Story right now is absurd. And then now I'll take The Lion King because hell yeah. Also, I learned one of my most commented on videos for the one that like didn't do amazing is like my those head bobbing Disney movies or Pixar movies. I learned my taste is very different from everyone else because I had like Toy Story beat Ratatouille, and the Brits were on me. The British were coming. They were getting me.
Did you guys find a good list to prep this from? Because I couldn't find any good because Pirates of the Caribbean slipped under my radar because Disney obviously owns so many properties that you're not going to remember them all the time.
There's a movie I don't think you'll think of. I don't know. I kind of knew my picks like I know my top anime.
Because I think technically the Boogeyman next weekend, I think that's a Disney movie. I'm so serious when I say that. I'm actually pretty sure it is.
I mean, there are a lot. Like
there's one that I'll mention at the end. It's being distributed by 20th Century Studios, which is Fox, which is technically Disney now.
Okay, because it was on Disney's like slate of the year when they did their like D23 or whatever. So that's why I was like, what the heck?
They have so much shit now, but I wouldn't call that like Disney.
Right, I'd agree. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, my third pick, I'll take it now, and that's Inside Out.
Yeah, okay. I was waiting for it.
Oh yeah, I'll take that at 3. I kind of figured that would get back to me at 3.
I kind of wish this had Seth because then we'd have like more picks, like
Yeah, it would get a little.
But we'll spend like a little longer on honorable mentions this week because there's a lot I'm gonna want to shout.
I mean, do we want to make this like 6 or 7 rounds?
Don't hate that idea.
You make the graphic. Do we want
the graphic could contain 6 to 7 rounds. Yeah.
Could it contain 10?
No, let's do
10. We could do 7.
Let's do 7. Let's do 7 because I was like add on. Okay,
yeah. Let's do 7 rounds because that'll add some weird shit.
People are getting like behind. We're getting like production behind the scenes stuff in the middle of it. Okay, so now I have back to back again. Oh, this is fun. Now I'm excited. We're gonna rip Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Good pick.
And follow it right up with Monsters Inc.
Damn.
Which I think that'd be another one. Well, no, I think if Seth was here, he would have picked it by now, to be honest, because I think he really loves Monsters Inc.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Cam. I'm gonna take Soul at my 4th round pick. I'm sorry.
Absolute bastard, man. That's fucked up, dude. That's actually fucked up.
If it makes you feel better, I don't think that movie does well with votes.
It doesn't, but
no, I don't think it does either. But it's so goddamn good. I'm gonna take my second highest rated Disney Pixar movie, and that's Toy Story 3. So I'm just all around Toy Story because I could go for another one, but I don't want to just
get all 4.
Yeah, I could. They're all
get all
good.
4 and then Lightyear.
Just take all 4.
Back to George.
Here's a poll. No, I got
No.
Oh no, you got it. Okay.
Here's a poll. You're gonna like this, George. I'm taking. Well, you're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna take The Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's Disney too. God,
Wow, is that
Yes.
Disney too?
there was no
Yeah.
good letterbox list for Disney movies.
No, there wasn't really.
And you know what? I respect people on Letterboxd who make lists of movies just to make lists, because I hate when I'm researching these drafts, which, like, whatever. I wouldn't make them either, but I hate when I'm researching these drafts to look for a list on Letterboxd and then, like, Disney movies and be like, all the Disney movies I've seen. It's like, no, give me every Disney
I want
movie.
all of them.
Like, give me all of them. I don't care if you've seen them.
All right, I'm taking a movie that's not necessarily the it's definitely not like the next highest rated on like the remaining Disneys, but I want it on my draft board because I've been advocating for this movie forever, and that is Tron Legacy.
Okay.
That's
probably where
a good
that's probably
vote
where
pick,
I
I think.
lost this draft.
No.
You've won
I
a
think
couple in a
people
row,
love
so I
that
think
movie
you're all
online.
right. I think you're all right. You've won
Okay,
a couple
so
in a row.
back to me for back to back. Also, speaking of winning things in a row, let's get an updated stats. Whoever our ReelTok historians are.
Marcellus.
Oh, yeah.
Marcellus.
Anyone who wants. Marcellus, shout out you, but if anyone wants to.
He's the one that normally does it.
Yeah.
That's why I said.
Let's get an updated ReelTok stats.
Yeah. I feel like we've lost the passion for the wins, but I've been winning every once in a while.
I have to update our spreadsheet for sure.
Oh yeah, we're way behind on that. It's all right.
Back to back here, we will go. So Cam, you have Toy Story 1 and 3.
Yes.
I'll take Toy Story 2.
Yeah, that movie bangs. You should.
And then,
What
this
round
is-
is this for?
This
yeah,
is about to be 6.
we're now entering round 6.
We're
Because
now
that was just
6.
the last pick of the draft right there, technically.
Yeah, technically. But now
Really?
it's 6.
Oh man.
Yeah. This will
Goes by
be.
fast.
I think I can get this one later, so I'm gonna do up. I'm gonna go up instead.
I would not have picked that old
I-
couple.
yeah. I don't know if
So I have two.
I think that's a
more.
good vote pick, but I don't love. I
Yeah,
love
you-
the beginning of up.
yeah.
I don't really love the rest.
Yeah.
all right, I think my next pick. You know what? Let me expand my demographics on people who are going to vote for me. I'm going to go with The Parent Trap.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, for our 6 female followers. Thanks for the
We
vote.
do love you all.
Oh, the
Thank you,
Parent Trap.
Victoria.
For some reason, when you said that, I pictured the Proud Family. Parent Trap.
The
Proud
Parent
Family
with
is a
Lindsay
show.
Lohan.
Proud Family was a great show.
Proud
Yeah, but that's
Family
not
was
a
a
movie.
good show. Yeah, no, this
I
is
remember
the
that.
Lindsay
Parent Trap
Lohan
is
baby.
epic. That was like a movie that just seemed like it was always on ABC Family
Always
growing
on.
up.
Yeah, it
Always
was.
on.
Oh,
All right. So I have 2 picks left. I'm gonna go with one of my favorites. Oh, and definitely, without a doubt, I will not fight on this because I'm just correct. The best soundtrack in Disney.
stop.
That's Tarzan.
Oh, okay. Not where I thought you were going.
Interesting. Tarzan's the best soundtrack. Phil Collins, baby. Just you can't get better than
I
that.
thought you were going elsewhere.
Now I'm going to the live action. I think I've done all animated. I think. I don't
I wish
even
this
know.
draft was.
Yeah, I think I've done
more.
all animated. Now I'm going live action. I'm going Remember the Titans.
Oh, I really thought I can get that.
Yeah.
I clearly am so out of touch with Disney's
I
filmography.
really thought I could
Big.
get that last. Shit, you fucking.
There's one, Tyler, that you're gonna be so pissed when I tell you it was distributed by
Oh
Disney.
God.
Stop.
You're gonna lose it.
All right, again, I'm just going for bullshit in round 7. Give me Holes.
Oh,
No, that's not bullshit. That's a
yes.
great movie.
That is awesome.
God,
Just
so
give me
good.
some
I like
dude.
the pick.
I have
awesome.
I have so many movies higher rated that I could have picked over the Parent
Yeah,
Trap and
definitely.
Holes.
Yeah, but it's
Definitely
fun.
are.
Man, I still have so many honorable mentions, but so this is the last pick of the draft. I'm going for one person's vote and one person's vote only. That's Mr. Josiah Coops, and that's High School Musical in the last round.
What a pick. What a
You got-
pick, man.
You
God, I
got-
just locked in one vote, so
You
we're
got
good.
one. Well, no, I mean, you got Seth's vote with Ratatouille.
Yep.
Right,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
UK, man.
All right, before
Uh,
honorable mentions, let me just run through these real quick. Cam, Coco, Toy Story, The Lion King, Toy Story 3, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Tarzan, and Remember the Titans. George, The Incredibles, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, Inside Out, Soul, Tron Legacy, The Parent Trap, and Holes. Tyler with the final pick, Ratatouille, Wall-E, Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., Toy Story 2, Up, and High School Musical.
Disney officially has a great filmography. I think that's not a hot take. They have so much. Cam, what was the movie that I'm gonna be pissed?
Ready? Ready for a movie that was distributed by Walt Disney Studios? The Prestige.
Oh, no
What?
way. No way.
Yeah, look it up. I
No
googled it.
sh-
It
That would
was
have been great in
mostly
the graphic.
Warner Bros, Walt Disney, Touchstone.
That would have been
distributing.
jokes on the graph.
Right?
Why didn't you
Yeah.
pick that?
I'm not a huge prestige guy. I am not.
Oh yeah, you're not.
Boo on that one.
I know.
big
Also, another Disney distributed movie, The Sixth Sense.
Interesting.
Dead Poets Society.
Apocalypse Now.
Damn.
He got not Apocalypse Now.
No, I'm seeing it.
Really? Oh my god. He got game. I think there are a lot of animated movies we skipped over trying to get some more creative picks. Like Mulan's great in my opinion. I don't know your all opinions on it. Zootopia, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid I like. Apparently y'all don't. Moana's a 5 out of 5 for me, but it does.
I'm a big Wreck-It Ralph fan.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Huge
I
Wreck-It
like
Ralph fan.
Good film.
Bolt. Shout out Miley
Hercules.
Cyrus.
Hercules.
A goofy movie.
A goofy movie.
Oh,
yes.
Cam, when you said the best soundtrack in Disney, I thought you were going Moana.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But it's no Tarzan. It's
That's
no
fair.
Phil Collins.
That's fair.
Mary Poppins, the original, I do think is very good.
Damn, this draft could have been 50 rounds with 4 people.
Yeah, we could have. Yeah, with Seth, this draft could have been still a bunch of rounds.
I mean, I could have gone like I would have been fine with like a Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with National Treasure on my board.
Oh,
I love
The
Cruella
Emperor's
too.
New Groove. I
But,
do like Cruella.
all right, we will wrap up our episode there. That concludes our draft and concludes what was this episode 38 of the Real Talk podcast. Again, shout out to all of our patrons. Shout out to everyone that listens to us every single week. You guys, of course, give us the support we need to continue waking up every Sunday and filming, 3-4 episodes at a time. Again, merch is out. The feedback has been incredible. We are obviously the 4 of us over the moon with the support and the positive response that we have gotten. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Apple Music and Spotify. Check out all of our socials. Our executive producers, Al Bodie, Alexander Kephart, Mac Wells, Remy Walker, 7 Mod Jeffy, Alexander Biscardi, Ben Legge, Ben Hansey, Callum Sy, Dean Kutamanidis, Dylan Chip, Ferdinando Ford, Jimmy O'Connor, Jordan Gagg, Josh Hines, Luke. I apologize for mispronouncing this because I'm going to. Luke Deer Hog, Marcellus, Relapse, Rocco 10, Sam's 43, Sean Morales, Stephen Johnson, Tad and Bougie. That was funny. I'm sorry. Will Kim, Eunice BBX. That wraps up episode 38 of the Real Talk podcast. We will see you later this week for a few real quick episodes.